All right, I've got 10 o'clock. Commissioner Kirschner, you can begin when you're ready.
I appreciate that, and we will do just that. Everyone on the call, please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Commissioner Paradiso, are you ready to give us a prayer this morning?
Commissioner Schuff is going to do that today. Thank you.
Great. Commissioner?
Thank you, Tony. Thank you, President Kirschner. If you would, please pray with me. Dear Lord, please guide us as we make decisions and have discussions here that face our county, our cities and villages. As we please help guide us make the right decisions, and as far as property is concerned, finances, our employees, please watch out for us. Give us your guidance and your will. Please help people's tensions and ease everything that has happened over the last few months. This country needs you more than ever. We need some unity. Please help us to identify our similarities in each other, not our differences. Please help to reunite us. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Nice job, Commissioner Schuff. Okay, Nikki, roll call, please.
Commissioner Kirschner?
Here.
Commissioner Paradiso?
Here.
Commissioner Schuff?
Here.
Okay, it looks like the first thing for 10 o'clock is a discussion about sewer fees. So that's on the schedule first. We'll get that started. I assume that is Charlene.
That is correct. Thank you, commissioners. I would like to talk to you about the fourth quarter 2020 late fees for the sewer districts and the first quarter 2021 sewer district late fees. All bills for the fourth quarter were mailed out at the end of December as required on the appropriate date. Brittany does all the billing and talking to the customers, and we have discovered that many customers did not receive their bills in a timely fashion. We're not getting payments in a timely fashion, and we believe this is due to the Postal Service delays in delivery, which I'm sure all of us can be empathetic and have experienced this in one way or another. I talked to Mark Zimmerman, who is our sanitary engineer, about it, and we both agreed we thought that it would be a great idea to bring to you guys to waive any late fees for the last quarter of 2020 and the first quarter of 2021 due to delays in postal delivery services. So I'm coming to you asking if you would please consider and waive those late fees.
Okay, I doubt that any of the, yes, Tyler.
Actually, Mike, you go first. I'll speak after you.
Well, I doubt that any of the commissioners have any problem with that. My only suggestion would be, and thought about this, would be to see how many people we could get to sign up online to do electronic billing. In this environment, many people, I dare say most, have access to electronic billing on some type of device through email. Is it possible to send a letter out to the sewer district, to the folks that are affected, to see whether or not we could get them to get their bills electronically? I think it would save us time and money from a postage standpoint, and that we would be more likely to get their information to them. So that's my thoughts. Tyler, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with everything that you just said. I would be willing to make a motion to waive those late fees, but I just wanted to give you some firsthand kind of experience. So a few weeks back, overnight, I went to the Postal Service to send some plans down to the local building department. They didn't get it for 20 days. And I paid, I think, $21 to have it overnighted or to have it sent down within a day or two. But the Postal Service is that backed up, and I don't think these people should be penalized for it. So depending on what Commissioner Kirschner has to say, I'd make a motion that we take the recommendation and waive the late fees.
Okay.
Yep, I'll second that.
Good. Any additional discussion about it? Just, Charlene, how difficult would it be, do you think, to try to set up electronic notification of these bills?
So we currently accept online bill payment. Our billing software does not allow us to email bills to customers yet. We have been in the process. We started it last year looking at upgrading the billing software. Stacy's aware of that, and Mark is as well. The prices are astronomical. Both of them can attest to that because I've been keeping them in the loop. And so we're trying to find a more economical way to do this. We would prefer to send the bills electronically because it would save money for the sewer district, and our customers would get their bills in a much quicker fashion. So we will definitely send out a survey and see if we can get those things updated, and we will continue to work towards upgrading and doing that type of process.
Okay, I mean, even if you, and I'm sure you guys have discussed this, Charlene, I know this isn't a novel idea, but even if you got an agreement with the customers and you had to hand type or hand email each bill, I would think that that would take less time and cost less than even putting it on a software system. It's unfortunate your software system doesn't allow that, but even without that, I would think you could get a email blast with all these folks' name and get an amount inserted and just send it to them.
We will look into that. Thank you. Okay.
I can tell you that, you know, from a private industry side of things, we had a couple of businesses that, you know, we saved about 7 out of 10 people ended up using the electronic billing alternative.
I think they would as well, because as soon as we initiated the online credit card payment and e-check payments, we started receiving quite a few of them. So I would say almost half of our customers were willing to do it online and via e-check. So I believe they would love getting their bills electronically as well. We always have some old school people who like the hard copy, and you cannot blame them for that. So, you know, but if we can cut it down and do it quicker, we will be glad to do so.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you very much. Anything else, Charlene?
No, that is all. Thank you for your time this morning.
All right. Stacy Wilson, we are to the interesting part of the meeting, right? For a presentation.
I don't know about that. I don't know if you want to go ahead and let Ruth Ann. I think I had her on at 10:15, but I think the agenda says 10:30. We can let her go, or I could just do it. It's up to you.
Well, in respect for Ruth Ann's time, if she's on the line, I certainly would have her go now.
Good morning, I'm here.
Good morning, Mrs. House.
Good morning. I thought I was the interesting part, so I guess I'm not.
Well, I was maybe that. Yeah, go ahead.
So I had asked Stacy to share with everyone on her screen the infographics that we prepared. So the first sheet is really summarizing in totality what we did with the $250,000 in CARES Act funding that the commissioners granted us. And thank you very much for reaching out to us to be one of the partners to help you help residents within your county. So you can see that we helped 287 households. And the breakdown is 12 households receiving mortgage assistance, 85 with rent payments, 79 with water and or sewer bills, and then 111 households were provided with food assistance. The total spend, including operations and administrative expenses, was $269,131. And then you can see how those numbers, the dollars broke out between rent, mortgage, water, sewer, food, and then operations and admin includes those direct service staff who worked, you know, in a very short 2-month, 8-week time frame to get these funds out to folks. And we did it all virtually. So as we're doing with virtually all of our services at this point. And then we've also given you the average amount spent per household per service there. Remember mortgage, that was 12 households receiving mortgage assistance. That can be thrown off. The average can be thrown off very quickly when you have someone that has a rather large mortgage payment versus those that are more modest, I should say. By far, rent was clearly, you know, most needed above mortgage assistance. And then the water and sewer bills were also a huge need. And we know that food insecurity continues to be an issue for folks. And as we say down at the bottom, we're giving you the timeline, the trajectory of when the program first started. We launched it October 23rd. We did some real heavy social media posts, reaching out to any of our Seneca County participants. Certainly word of mouth helped. And you can see the spend levels then basically increasing week upon week upon week until we got to the end on December 18th. So I'm happy to answer any questions before we move on to the next infographic.
Ruth Ann, this is Tony.
Yes,
Hi. Last time it was your birthday, right?
it was.
Good. Nice job, and thank you for the follow-up report. It kind of validates and just feels really good to see it on paper, the impact. What would be just an average? So when we helped with rent, was it 2 months worth of rent, 3 months worth of rent, 4 months worth of rent?
Well, we went back to April in any case that we needed to through December. So I'm going to say on average, just from anecdotal conversations with my staff, I'm going to say mostly 4 to 5 months, but I can certainly, certainly get you the exact number.
So we went back to when
the CARES Act
hit, the CARES Act, and then whatever it was.
Right.
Through December. Okay.
Correct.
Thank you.
Correct.
That's my question. Thanks.
Sure. And then before we move to the next slide, Stacy, I just want to reiterate to everyone on this meeting that we have another round. We still have a lot of CARES Act dollars available. We just signed the grant agreement for Home Relief 2, they're calling it, and that's being administered by the Ohio Development Services Agency. And that's another $1 million that we will have for our 4 base counties of Woods, Sandusky, Ottawa, Seneca. And then the state is in discussion with Treasury on another very large amount to be awarded. That would be Home Relief 3, where we would likely also get additional funding. And at the same time that we were running your CARES Act program, we also ran a $1.1 million program from Ohio Development Services Agency to assist folks with these very same needs. So I just want to reiterate that as you're coming into contact with folks, please send them to us. A lot of these funding streams have higher income levels than what one might think. Several of them have a 200% federal poverty limit. So that opens up the pool, it opens up the funding to a much larger pool than if they were only at 100% of the federal poverty level. So please continue to send folks to us who need assistance.
Thank you for all that you do.
And then, sure, absolutely. Moving on to the next page is a snapshot overview of all the other services, kind of our normal, usual, and customary services for 2020. Wanted to give you just a visual of these as well. And so when we move down to the orange area under utility assistance, you can see that over 200 people received help with their emergency heating. That would be during the winter crisis program, as the state calls it, and 117 during the summer cooling program. And 254 households were assisted with getting on affordable utility payment plans. So that would be called PIP Plus. You've probably all heard of that. So it's the payment is directly associated with their level of income. Below that are the home repair, mortgage assistance, and homeless assistance units provided. So we have rehabbed 30 homes in Seneca County. In 2020, 3 households received mortgage assistance. 57 families have received help with stabilized housing, and then another 47 households received assistance with rent again to prevent homelessness. And along with those services, the supportive services that are provided could include landlord mediation, transportation, utility deposits, food vouchers, and certainly any referrals to other agencies for services that GLCAP does not provide directly. And then Stacy, if you can just scroll down, I'll continue to go on the left-hand side. Thank you. So then under the RCAP and community development wing, we have assisted the cities of Tiffin and Fostoria with developing entrepreneurship strategic plans. And that has been a really exciting initiative, as you all are well aware of, and we're continuing to seek funds to continue those services. I just had a conversation with the Community Development Director yesterday in terms of the RCDI funding being announced again. So that application will be due in March, and we would certainly like to continue these initiatives and request funding to be able to do so. And then you can see that we're working on asset management plan for the City of Fostoria water treatment plant. Over in early childhood, we have 92 young folks enrolled in center-based Head Start, and those children would be served in centers in Tiffin and Fostoria. Then we have 17 3 and 4 year olds who are being served under the early Head Start, home-based early Head Start option, and 34 students that were served during summer, and that was with specific CARES Act funding available to any families that wanted summer services. So we did run in-classroom services from, obviously we stopped when the pandemic hit. We did pick up in-class services in September and ran those through Thanksgiving. Since Thanksgiving, we have been virtual with those children. And so what does virtual mean? That means that we provide a weekly learning experience with the children and their families. We provide materials and the supplies needed. Those would be either picked up by the families and or delivered by our family advocates to their homes. We have provided meals and snacks for those children for 4 days per week. And typically if they're in classroom 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday. So we knew that we wanted those children to continue to receive their breakfast and lunch and healthy snack because otherwise they may not. We have some, very at-risk families, and we certainly don't want children to be going hungry. It includes weekly contacts with families and checking in on them, and again, providing referrals as needed for any needs that may arise. And the virtual services included continuing parent training and parent engagement activities, obviously doing those virtually. And that's where we typically bring in a lot of outside experts to do some educational things with parents and the children. So we continue to do that. The Fostoria Youth Build program has been up and running for the past year. We have struggled desperately finding participants, young folks who are willing to commit to, coming. And this has actually remained for the most part throughout the pandemic in person at the Fostoria Learning Center is where we hold this. And these young people are learning skills in the construction trades. 6 of them to date have obtained construction certifications. 3 are employed, and 3 will be taking the GED test within the next 45 days. So this program is designed to for dropouts to assist them in attaining their GEDs and also learning the construction trade so that they can be placed in a viable career.
Just as kind of an add-on to that, Mrs. House, the land bank for the county.
Mm-hmm.
Reconstructed or is redoing a couple of houses in Fostoria just to show how this stuff ties in, right?
Yes.
And then individuals are learning some skills by rehabbing houses that the land bank owns. So God bless for that. And eventually those 2 houses then will be able to have new owners at a lower cost, and hopefully, we'll just carry on with that. So they get some good experience, plus they get some money injected in the program, plus the kids get a chance to work with other than GLCAP, also the land bank.
Yep.
Yeah,
And, cleaning up some blight and, salvaging homes that might otherwise not be salvageable. Yes. And then lastly, I wanted to talk just briefly about our development services. We do an awful lot of development with partner agencies and organizations. This would be under fee-for-service options, where we write grants on behalf of or in partnership with other organizations. And in 2020, we wrote 19 applications with other communities and or partner organizations. 18 of those were funded for a total of $23 million. And I do need to point out, we may or may not be a piece of those funded applications. We may have simply been writing the application because of our experience in that regard. So those applications would include the CHIPS. They include some partnership applications with Northwest State Community College. We wrote a couple grants for the Area 7 Workforce Development Board. We did the City of Fremont's governor's capital budget requests. We wrote 4 of those. And we also wrote a USDA application for Burchard Public Library for their extensive renovation project that they're currently undergoing. So just, to put that on your radar, that as, you're talking about looking at new things and or, working with other partners, that's certainly a service that that GLCAP can do and would be interested in discussing with anyone that might be interested in discussing with us.
2 questions about that, Ruth Ann. The first is, how many people do you have dedicated to grants writing in your organization?
Sure. We have dedicated 3 dedicated staff in our planning and development department. So those 3 full-time staff focus exclusively on development. And then within each of our departments, all of our program directors and assistant program directors are involved in the grant writing process. So those 19 applications that I referenced here under our fee-for-service opportunities are just a piece of what we did. In 2020, we actually submitted 51 funding applications for a total of $43 million. Our current budget for the services that we are directly providing is $55 million.
And is there any advisory service that goes along with that? And by that, I mean, if there's something that the county may have missed from a grant opportunity, are your folks aware of things that we should apply for that maybe we haven't, or do they make suggestions to the county about looking at different areas?
Absolutely. And that's one of the things that, we have developed, a really good relationship, for example, with the city of Fremont. And, we're not that we don't have good relationships with other jurisdictions as well. I don't mean that, but certainly where we are, specifically looking, we knew that they had 5 priorities, for example, on projects that they really wanted to get funded. So we continue to watch the opportunities. Obviously, we're looking at particularly the federal funding opportunities, as well as the state on a daily basis as they come out. So it's really nice to have a feel for what a community might be interested in, or what your priorities are, I guess I'll say, as we're running through those opportunities, and evaluating them, or sending them off to say, hey, look at this, Seneca County Commissioners, this might be something that you'd be interested in, pursuing for your community.
Good. And if we had, some area that we were looking to search out grants for, let's just use historical renovations for an example. And we came to you and said, would you do a search on this and tell me what we ought to be out there and what's the most likely path we could take?
Absolutely. Yes. Yep. Happy to.
So Mike, thought, how we put we go through facilities our projects and we put our list together with Representative Click and Reineke and Mike Ditto, maybe we ought to circle Ruth Ann back into that and then have a multiple lens on the funding.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree with you. Well, especially since they've got, they've got the folks that are whose purpose in life is to seek grant funding. And, they're pretty much on the, they focus on it a whole lot more than we're going to because of the other issues we have, but their specific job is grants writing.
And honestly, I developed the planning and development department within our organization about 6 years ago because I felt that we really needed that focus versus kind of the splintered approach, and I think that focused approach has really paid off for the partners that we have worked with and for our own organization as we look for funds to help the folks in our communities.
Yeah, sometimes I think we just, instead of, we need to be proactive as opposed to reactive. I mean, when we get something that we read about a grant that's out there, we certainly try to get on it, but we just need to be on that cutting edge, knowing what's coming.
Sure.
And that would be certainly of some help there. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Hey, Ruth Ann, I had a question for you.
Yes.
As far as the food program goes that you have set up for the youth, do you guys collaborate or coordinate at all with the city schools program that they have?
We have youth build. Did you say, Tyler? I'm sorry.
Yes, the food.
Yeah, we have reached out to every organization, school. We have gone door to door. The township trustees. We've gone to the county fair. I mean, just it's been extensive because initially, as I said, we really struggled. And, it's a tough lift for the young folks because it's a big commitment in terms of, you have to show up and you have to show up every day. And, we all know that the GED prep has gotten, much tougher than it was in years past. And so it is a big commitment. But we have reached out to everyone that we could possibly have reached out to.
So,
And we continue to circle back,
so you guys do have a working relationship with the schools currently or not yet?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yes. And Fostoria City Schools has been wonderful to work with.
Great. Do you have any workings with Michelle Tuitt?
I honestly can't tell you the name, Tyler.
I was just curious. They have a food program set up for the youth as well, the at-risk type thing.
Okay.
I wasn't sure if you guys were crossing streams or if you could collaborate together, but I'll talk to you after this meeting.
Okay.
Well, I just wanted to say I appreciate all that GLCAP does. And, I had the opportunity and the pleasure to sit on your board a couple of times and actually work for you over a period of my life. A lot of stuff you guys do is under the radar. People don't realize how much good is happening because of your staff. You got a lot of dedicated people, a lot of volunteers on your board who are all community members who all give you input about what's out there. So I would just like to say from my standpoint, God bless you for everything you do. And there's a lot of people that have food on the table and have a roof over their head as a direct result of your work. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for the opportunity to give you an update.
Sure. Okay, any other questions out there? You know what? I'll open this up. This is kind of a once in a while report. So, Jimmy, we'll open this up to any questions anybody might have from the general public for Ruth Ann. We don't have the chance to get her on very often, so we'll see if anybody has any questions out there.
Yeah, that sounds great. You can go and hit the unmute button if you'd like to speak. If you're on the phone line, you can hit *6 on your phone to unmute.
Okay. Well, you don't have to be shy. Anybody out there, you're more. Ruth Ann is happy to answer your questions, I'm sure. Okay. Hearing none, Ruth Ann, thank you very much for the report. I certainly appreciate it. You're welcome to stay. You're welcome to go, whatever fits your schedule.
Thank you.
All right. Next on the agenda is the county administrator's report.
Yes, I don't have a lot to report. I do have a couple questions. I got an email from the county auditor The Transportation Improvement District has received a quote from the company they use to put their financials into the gap reporting that's required. The fee for that is $200, and she was asking if the commissioners would be willing to cover that cost. My thought is, the Transportation Improvement District is its own taxing authority that was created. The commissioners did put in funding at the beginning. I think Mark Zimmerman, the county engineer, had some projects that he put some money towards it. We cost allocate back out to regional planning, mental health and recovery services, and other entities. I'm not sure that we should, set precedents to cover that cost. It is only $200. She sent me their cash balance, and they had about 4,000 in their cash balance. So just wanted your thoughts on it. If I don't think she has a problem either way, but she did ask if the commissioners would cover that. So I thought I'd bring that up.
Well, my suggestion, Stacy, would be to go ahead and let the TID pay for it. If there is a problem with that, or if there is a matter of concern about doing that we're not aware of, bring it back to us. Again, as you say, $200 isn't. We probably spent that much time in salaries at this point talking about it. But if they need to have the money for some reason that we're not aware of, we'll talk about it again. But for now, we think they'll come out of the funds that are available from TID. Gentlemen, I don't know what your thoughts are.
That's exactly my thought.
I'm fine with that as well.
Okay. All right, Stacey.
That's all I have. Everything else I think is under like old business or new business.
Okay. Commissioner reports, Mr. Tyler Shaw.
Thank you, President Kirschner. This week, last week or so, we've had a really busy week. Met with Jenny Richardson from Gardner Energy. She was discussing some possible energy savings here for the county. So got to hear her pitch and what they possibly bring to the table. So that was educational. This last week, there was a central committee meeting to fill my old seat on council. They appointed Zach Perkins. I'd like to congratulate him. Attended a architectural board review meeting. They have those about once or twice a month. Got a little education on local architecture and signage, so that's always productive. Been over in Fostoria as well the past week, meeting with small business owners, some various officials over there, hearing their needs, what they see needs done. So been learning, listening a lot over there in that end of the county. I'll let Tony report on this, but we had some really positive stuff from Renee today on the FEDC meeting for their economic development, but they have some spec buildings going, and their co-founders program that they started up seems to really be taking off. I'll let Tony highlight on that if he so decides. Got a meeting set up with TSEP here the next week to go over some projects here and just get some updates from the folks down there at Tiffin's Economic Development Partnership. Completed the list of goals here. I came into office with a list of things. I'm going to have Jimmy help me fine tune it, word things a little differently, but have that list ready to go, and excited to share that with the commissioners, the community, and just start crossing some of these things off one at a time and try to fine tune that message. Also, the past week, I've been going through some of the county's plans, comprehensive plans, that sort of thing, just getting caught up with what you guys have cooking and what's been planned for the future. I know a lot of the city's plans, so I'm just trying to get myself up to par as far as what the county plans are and just familiarize myself with those. Also, last week, got to go out and meet with the Bloom Township firefighters. That was nice. Got to hear updates from them and some of their concerns and issues. Also, along with that, they had a gun raffle, which they allowed me to be a part of. So that was very nice. They sold 1,977 tickets, which is a direct fundraiser for them. So it was, I think, their best year yet, I believe, is what they told me. EMS and EMA meetings this week, coordinators meeting, got an education there, hearing people out and various concerns. Today at 4 o'clock, there is a ribbon cutting at Jam's Monthly Market. It's actually just down the street here on Madison, down the street from us here, kind of across from Calvert. It's in the old Coppice building, if anybody knows where that's at. But my friend Jamie Fadley is having a ribbon cutting. So I'm going to try to make it down there, support the chamber, support her small business. And She does repurposing of old furniture, and she does a lot of crafty type things, but very talented young girl. Known her for many years, so very happy for her. And lastly, trying to think how I want to word this. So a few years back, we had a business contest here in Tiffin to help a small entrepreneur or somebody to kind of get on their feet and get up and going. Just going to put a little teaser out there. We are very close to striking another deal to having another business contest here in Seneca County. And it's not going where I think you would think it's going, but I'm going to let the group that's working together with me on this announce it. But I think we see another business contest popping up here soon to stimulate some small business and future entrepreneurs. That's all I have.
What was the result of the last contest, Commissioner Schuff? Who do we have in business now that we might not have otherwise?
Washington Street Outfitters actually came out of that. We also had In Motion Dance Studio come out of that, La Scala IT. So we actually were able to get 3 or 4 businesses, new businesses here in Seneca County. So basically what we did is we had a contest where we had a space. We wanted to get it rented, but we offered it up rent free for 1 year to a new startup. We had 14 applicants, narrowed it down to the top 7. Had a Shark Tank type panel. Mr. Paradiso was actually a part of that contest.
Yeah, that was great.
So we got to hear their pitches, and we actually got Washington Street Outfitters out of that. And I think it's a great success story. They started out in a space. Now they're in a space that's 3 or 4 times larger, and they have a really cool little retail spot here in the middle of our county seat. And we're going to be doing another one here soon. And that's all I can say about that. More details to come.
Good. Thank you, Tyler. Nice report. Commissioner Paradiso.
Yeah, thank you. I'll just segue into Fostoria report. Fostoria Economic Development had their meeting this morning, and as Commissioner said, they're working on several large projects. These are pretty exciting projects, large economic impact, not only in dollars invested, but in jobs. So we keep our fingers crossed. A little early to make any of those announcements, but they feel real good about several of them. I'm continue to be impressed with the Learning Center. It was reported that between now and May, there are 45 different classes and training sessions scheduled at the Fostoria Learning Center. They had to add 4 additional welding classes. And so as we continue to work on workforce development, that is just a tremendous asset we have in our county that continues to grow and be marketed, and I think appreciated. So we want to thank them for their efforts over there. Administratively, they're going through a few changes, but all very positive. One of the board members on Foster Economic Development is a city councilman, and he was able to report out that the finances for the city of Fostoria are trending in a positive way. They met last year looking into this year. They feel very good about the direction they're headed. So that's very positive news. They've had some issues over there. They're working real hard, and that was a positive report. So I wanted to share that. Throughout the county, I talked to Commissioner Kirschner this morning as we work on EMS, and I get out individually to talk and meet throughout the county. I'm discovering places that I didn't know existed necessarily in the county. It's been kind of fun, actually, as you get out into some of the remote areas. But we continue to do a lot of work behind the scenes, gather information so we can make informed decisions, and it's been very positive. Ken, we had the opportunity to attend the coordinators meeting yesterday. Ken Majors, I thought, did a great job in that report. There was a lot of questions, a lot of buy-in and ideas actually that we hadn't thought of. So we have a lot of work to do here, but it's just encouraging to see things progress forward. So that to me is probably the biggest thing I'm working on. and among other projects I have. But I just wanted to make a shout out there that things are positive, and anyone listening or involved in EMS, if you have any comments, feel free to call any of us, join us on our Monday meeting, and we welcome them. Concludes my report.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to start out by kind of looking in the rearview mirror a moment, because two of the people that we had today and one of the references that we had benefited from capital budget for the state, right? FLC, Fostoria Learning Center,
Yes.
got a significant grant because we were aggressive in going to the state budget, the capital budget. And at that time, Representative Reineke, now Senator Reineke, was very instrumental in doing that. We had Ruth Ann House on earlier today. WSOS at the time it was, now GLCAP, got a significant capital budget amount and moved their offices in downtown Fremont to the old Joseph's department store. These are direct results of a lot of hard work. We get a little bit of credit for that as commissioners because we presented some of these ideas to our state reps. For those of you that don't know, there's a capital budget one year and a fiscal budget the next year. So those years that have capital budgets, we try to do our due diligence and present to them, if you will, quote unquote, shovel ready jobs that maybe they can get behind. Now, a lot of that credit goes to our friends at Highbridge as well. They keep us informed of what's out there and the kind of things that we can do, and they actually put some applications together from time to time. So we're taking a little bit of credit here, but just a little bit. But for the most part, it is that in the past, Seneca County hasn't really taken advantage of those capital budgets. And instead of asking for what basically was the leftovers, as we saw these come through, we're being more aggressive and getting out there up front, submitting the applications as part of the initial process, and getting guys like Representative Click and Senator Reineke behind it. At this point, I'm sure that Representative Click's going to do a wonderful job, but I can tell you that Senator Reineke has been awfully good to Seneca County as it relates to the capital budgets. I also, on a positive note, wanted to tell you that I think that there's always question, right, about new groups of people that are running whatever the business or the government agency might be. But Commissioner Schuff has been a wonderful addition. He's working extremely hard. Commissioner Paradiso is now officially an elected official after the January election. And all of that teamed up with Stacy Wilson at the office and Kylie and Nikki. I think that the office is running very well. And it's always good to know that from the public standpoint, I think, because you get a whole lot more done when people can agree to disagree, when people can have conversations, and when people can be civil with each other, as we've learned over the past recent history here. Unfortunately, that isn't always the case. But I do want to let the public know that this office, I think, is functioning very well. And it hasn't always been that way in the past. So that is good news. And when people cooperate and people have the same goal, and we got all the oars in the water, trying to get us in the same direction, that's always a good thing. A fun fact is that this may be the first time ever that the inauguration took place on a date that's a palindrome. The same forwards as backwards, and we're in a period of time now when January 20th, 21 through January 29th, 21 is all a palindrome. And I don't think that happens. I'm not a mathematician, but the odds aren't very good that's going to happen again.
Oh, but you're a crossword guy.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, I mean, this is my age coming out now, but my biggest astonishment was in 1969, that 1969 was the same one way, and if you flipped it over to the top, it was the same there too. So I'm just curious about that.
That's great.
I don't know if that's going to happen again ever. So, anyways, I just wanted to thank all the staff and both Commissioner Paradiso and Commissioner Schuff, because I do have a real good sense that we are moving things forward but we're doing it for the right reasons. So God bless you guys, and thank you for that. That's kind of my report today. Okay. Human resources. I think this is probably back to you, Stacy.
Yes. Let me share my screen. Yes, so we've been working on the creation of the Human Resources Department for, all of last year and maybe even a little from 2019. So I finally got quite a few job descriptions from counties around us. We had the report done from Lori Hall. She went to each and every department, elected official, had some conversations. So we got her report and recommendation that we should move forward with the Human Resources Director Department. And to do so, we need to review and approve the job description, which I think I sent you yesterday. Also, I need to approve the table of organization. As you can see on the screen, just indicates the hierarchy. We have the new one, and I think when we hired Jimmy, public relations coordinator, we didn't get this updated, so I wanted to make sure that I had a draft with him on it, but I wanted to make sure we get him on there. And some listed, we have some yellow that are not that are open. I'm not saying we're looking for any assistance, but those are on our class plan. So I have the table organization, and I have just the Seneca County Board of Commissioners classification plan. So those 3 documents, if you guys have had a chance to review, it would help me move forward to get the search going and get somebody on board. We do have maintenance working in that area currently to get the walls patched and painted. He's getting quotes for carpet to get that area ready for the new director. So that's what I'm asking for today. You guys had a chance to review, had any questions on any of this?
Yeah, we obviously, Stacy, we've discussed this for a couple of years, right?
Yep.
And it's kind of coming to them. We kind of postponed it last year because of obvious reasons. So, I would like to see us move forward. I'm not sure specifically what the motion needs to be at this point. Why don't you kind of frame that up for me?
Yep. I think I have my old resolution, at least the title. Let me find it here quick. I need basically the resolution approving the table organization and classification plan for the Seneca County Board of Commissioners, effective today's date, January 21st, 2020, which includes the new job description for the Human Resources Director.
January 21st, 2021.
2021, yes. It's right on the resolution.
Yeah, okay. Okay, your pleasure, gentlemen.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we move forward the resolution that Stacy just read.
I'll
Okay.
second. And just a quick comment, I just want to say, looking at this job description and reading through this last 2 or 3 days, it was just very well done. It's very black and white, what we're looking for and what we want. I just think this was done very professionally. So thank you for all your hard work, Stacy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've looked it over as well, and well done.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let your head get too big, so I'm not saying anything.
I
Okay,
gotta say, a lot of it's other county department or other county administrators helping me out. So I won't take all the credit.
It worked.
okay, any other discussion? Hearing none, all those, well, I guess I need you, Nikki. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Chef,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Yes.
Commissioner Kirschner.
Yes. Justice Center sign.
Yes. Let's see, let me share that. We have a request. It's under old business because I think the judges had brought this to a board session. Might have been very early 2020 or maybe even 2019. They're looking to put a sign in front of the Justice Center. You know, I mean, probably easier to show the picture. Can you see the picture?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, this is the picture that they would like to have us kind of approve. If you've seen in the letter, they are not asking for any general fund money to put this up. They are going to come together and pay for that out of their special projects funds. We do have a few steps to work through with the Architectural Board of Review and the zoning board to make sure the sign is in line, but I think the judges have worked with John Huss. So I think it's just a matter of getting a few details ironed out with City of Tiffin and those departments. But the judge asked me to present this to you guys. He got the specs done from Klaus Construction and is hoping the commissioners will approve, I guess, pending the approval from the Architectural Board of Review and the Zoning Commission.
Yeah, I will add that as part of our building and grounds plan that was put together by, was it Pogemeyer? No, was it?
Scotsman.
Yeah, thank you. That one of the high priorities was wayfinding. They found it very difficult, both downtown and in the south end, to navigate if you weren't aware of where certain offices were. So one of their high priorities was to, put up clear and distinct signage on our properties, guiding folks to where they needed to be. So that's just, I just wanted to add that because it is indeed part of the recommendations made, and it's a high priority in the plan. Something that is relatively inexpensive, but yet beneficial to the public. So I will, if it's your pleasure, someone make a motion to approve this pending Architectural Board of Review approval and zoning approval.
I'll make that motion. I'm comfortable with this. I mean, we know it's going to be built right. The judges are paying for it. I'll make that motion pending ABR approval.
Yeah, I'll second that motion, and I have a comment, if I may.
Sure.
Commissioner. So when the Justice Center was built, obviously a lot of time and thought went into that. And was this just something that wasn't included back then?
Well, I think
or was,
we had a lot of discussion about the, the signage as you enter. We talked more about where the entrance was going to be, frankly, than we did talk about, where the signs are going to be. One of the initial drawings had the entrance being off of South Washington Street, right? Like the old days with the steps going down.
okay.
That kind of looks like a pseudo entrance now, but obviously it's not. And then we had to close the entrance to the east off that went into the annex and figure out what the landscaping was going to look like there, because we didn't want anybody to think they could come in that way either. So I guess it's just a second thought at this point, Tony. Once everything has been done, landscaped, closed off, and decided where we can put handicap folks so they can get off the curb and into the Justice Center easily. And now it's become apparent that there is still some confusion as to, what is the main entrance, and once you get in, who's in that building. So yes, we talked about signage actually placed on the building at one point, but I think this is a much better alternative.
Yeah, and that same thought process will go into the health department when we redo that facade wall, and because that's confusing. Charlene commented on how many people walked into regional planning for their COVID shot. Yeah,
we did it about trying to find township houses, right? But imagine going
but
out.
It's a real thing.
It is, yeah. I mean, imagine going out the south end and looking for veteran services. I can tell you, the first time I was out there, I went into the engineer's office and they told me you got to go over here, and I went in the wrong door there, and finally you had to go in the back. I mean, obviously I know where it's at now, but if I'm somebody who hasn't been out there, I need something marked a little more clearly for me.
Good. Okay, that's it.
Okay.
Me.
Nikki?
Commissioner Chef,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Yes.
Commissioner Kirschner.
Yes. Okay, Stacy, we have some new business here, huh?
Oh, yeah, let me get my VIP up on the screen. If I can find it. Too many screens open. There we go. Okay. I have an adjustment to make. It's kind of changing a little bit what we did last week. I talked to Paul Harrison yesterday, and he had asked, I guess at the last meeting, we weren't real clear whether it was going to be out of the DRETAC fund or if it was going to be out of the general fund. He said he would like it put into the general fund just because he thinks going forward that, you know, the DRETAC is supposed to be for delinquent real estate taxes. And even though it's been paid for out of that for many, many years, he thinks it would be appropriate to pull that out of the general fund instead. So he's requesting that we do the reduction of the $1,000 from the DRETAC fund and do a supplemental appropriation into the advertising for his general fund. I think that's the only supplemental I have. And then I have, bounce around between screens here. Share. Okay, make sure these are in order. I have a resolution authorizing the Seneca County Board of Commissioners to certify the 2020 County Highway System Mileage Certificate. And as you can see, he's certifying 369.644 miles of public road. And I have a resolution reappointing Stephanie Little to the Facilities Governing Board for Crossway for a 3-year term. I think Nikki has sent each of you a little bio on Ms. Little, as well as reappointing Kenny Estep to the Facilities Governing Board for Crossway for another 3-year term. She sent you that as well. I think that is all the resolutions I have.
Okay, go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept the new business and the new business as presented. Motions, make a motion, sorry.
Okay,
Yeah. Second.
all right. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, Nikki?
Commissioner Chef,
Yes.
Paradiso,
Yes.
Commissioner Kirschner.
Yes. Okay. Any other old business or any other new business that we brought before the commission? Hearing none, Jimmy, the time has come. You want to give them the instructions, please?
Absolutely. So if you'd like to make a comment now during the public comment period, you can hit the unmute button there on your computer or your mobile device. If you are joining us via the phone lines, you can hit *6 to unmute and come forward now. You could also say in the chat that you'd like to speak. So just go ahead and let us know if you want to come forward.
Okay. Is Audrey out there today? I can't believe she's not here.
Guys,
Oh, there she is.
Off the flood.
having trouble with my camera. There we go. Good morning.
Good.
All right, a couple of things from TSEP today. I want to remind everyone we are putting on 2 free webinars. One is today and one is next Friday. So the one today is at noon. It is about the Tech Cred program, which is a workforce training program that businesses can take advantage of to get some funding for training and kind of workforce resources. That's through the Lieutenant Governor's office, and they will be with us today talking about the program and how businesses can use it and answering questions. It's free, and you can find the link to register on our website and on Facebook. It's a great resource. It'll also be recorded and put out afterwards. So Tech Cred webinar today at noon. The other webinar is next Friday, the 29th at 10 a.m. And this is about the SBA programs. It's about all the existing SBA programs, new programs, and the extended or adjusted version of the PPP that is now open for businesses. So we've got a couple of, yeah, go ahead.
That's FDA, Food and Drug Administration.
No, sorry, SBA, Small Business Administration.
Small Business Administration. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so we've got two Small Business Administration partners with us on there that are going to explain the programs, explain the new PPP, how it's different, how that'll work. That is the Paycheck Protection Program. And so they'll be on there answering questions and giving us information. Again, that'll be recorded. It is also free, and the link to register can also be found both on our website and on Facebook. So those are our two free webinars. Share the word about those to businesses. Also want to remind everyone that the Dream Big Tiffin initiative that we've been leading for community development projects for the city of Tiffin, the public input portion of that is open through tomorrow, the 22nd. So just go to dreambigtiffin.com through our site and provide any input that any citizens in the Tiffin area might have on the projects that were submitted. We really want to hear what people think about what's going on and what we should be focusing on. So again, Dream Big Tiffin input through tomorrow, the end of the day tomorrow. Lastly, I want to mention, hopefully you saw the press release go out about Seneca Fortune 500. This is kind of an expansion of our business outreach program. Typically at TSEP, the team, all of us, we reach about 250 businesses per year. We, through a grant, we were able to work with through Carol Kern, our workforce partner, we were able to bring on two kind of business outreach specialists as part of our team to help double our efforts. And we're hoping to reach 500 businesses this year instead with that extra expertise and manpower. So again, you can find more information about that on our website and on Facebook too. This is called our Seneca Fortune 500 Business Outreach Program. And we've brought in some reinforcements to help us reach out to more businesses than before. This is, when I say business outreach, it's, it's about just reaching out and making sure, how are things going? Do we have a contact at these businesses? Making sure they know we're here as a resource. And then also identifying if there's something we can help with, we get them connected to the right team member who can help them out. We will be updating the commissioners on February 4th, so we can talk more in detail about any of these things then. But I can also take any questions you have. I think those are the 3 items TSEP has for you today.
Okay, put on a little different hat here and talk to us about an update on the Episcopalian parish and what's going on over there.
Sure, yeah. So our group would actually, we're trying to set up a time to come talk to you about that in detail sometime soon. But I would like to encourage everyone. Our groups, both Old Trinity Episcopal Church in downtown Tiffin and Seneca County Common Ground, who I'm a board member of, those 2 groups are working together to bring you the Tiffin Community Kitchen Project. We're really, really excited about this. And we are in the phase of soliciting support from the community at this point. So we're meeting with different groups and really asking for support for funding. We're identifying grants. And one of our ways to help get the word out about this was getting a video created. So we worked with local company Dead Shark Productions, and we got several community members who are heavily involved in the project together to speak about this. So I would really encourage you guys to go look at the video. You can find that on various different Facebook pages. You can go to Seneca County Common Ground, Old Trinity Episcopal, and we do have a new Facebook page for the Tiffin Community Kitchen as well if you search that. Check out that video. It really helps explain the heart of what that project is and what we're hoping to do with it and kind of who all is going to be involved with it. So we've done a lot of planning, we've done a lot of listening, we've done a lot of outreach to different community partners. And I really want to give all the kudos to Reverend Aaron Gerlach over at Old Trinity Episcopal Church. He is the Reverend over there. He's also the president of Seneca County Common Ground, and he has been a very strong leader of this project. And I'm happy to be a part of the team that's working on that. Again, just for if you're not familiar, the Community Kitchen Project is going to provide, Jimmy just shared the link to the video. Thanks so much, Jimmy. Go watch that. It's going to provide a space for educational classes, service opportunity around food, all type of social and service and educational things dealing with local food. We're going to be partnering with local chefs, local restaurants, local businesses, local service groups, anyone and everyone connected to local food. It's going to be about service and community and collaboration through food and through learning and cooking and eating food. So that's a very high level view of it, but go watch the video, reach out to myself, to Aaron, to any member of the church or to Common Ground to learn more about that. And we hope to bring you some specific information and presentation soon on that.
Well, as you start making connections, and you probably already thought of these things, but I want to encourage you to contact Ruth Ann House at GLCAP. You might have already had that conversation. And also Mike Ditto at Highbridge, from a state standpoint, that they may have some thoughts for you as to where you ought to go look. So it's a great project, man. I can't wait. It's going to be a neat addition downtown.
I had a question for Audrey. Yeah, Audrey, for the people that are doing the insight calls, or what's the new name for it, Fortune 500?
So the group that we're working with to provide the extra support, that group is called COACT. The name of the initiative, we're calling it Seneca Fortune 500. But the group that's helping to provide that support is called COACT.
Are those interns? Are they volunteers, or are they paid individuals?
They're paid individuals. They are experts in the field of outreach like this. They are highly trained, highly professional individuals. Again, the reason we were able to work with them and able to utilize their services was through a grant. I'm blanking on the name of the organization the grant came from. But anyway, we worked with Carol Kern, our workforce specialist, to help get that grant. I'm sorry, the information is on our website about where those funds are coming from. But yeah, this is a professional organization that does this outreach for a living, paid, not volunteers, not students, very good at their jobs. And they're working highly, closely connected to our team to, if there's something a business needs, they're connecting the right team member to the business to reach out to them. And we've already had a couple of those come up. They've reached out to a business and found out that there's something great going on, and they've connected us with them to help them work on that. Does that answer the question?
100% grant money. Is that good for 1 year, 2 years?
That's a great question. I can have David get you some more specific information on that. I believe it's through this year to help us work on that initiative, but there may be potential to expand in the future. But I'll have David get some more specific details on that. He can share that with you.
We can discuss it next week. I mean, I was just curious. I know it used to be handled by the Business Enhancement Committee, but it's a very good service that we provide for those small businesses, and the businesses like to be reached out to, and they like to know that people are thinking about them, and we want to help. So
absolutely. And this will not deter at all from what Business Enhancement is already doing. Actually, because we have the really great infrastructure of that business outreach set up with the Business Enhancement Committee through the downtown organization that Amy supports, none of the downtown businesses are going to be called through those people. They're basically already taken care of. They already get called each year. And then David, Nick, and I also make our calls to, all the local businesses. And like I said, we're usually reaching around 250 businesses each year. This initiative is to help us reach basically 250 additional businesses that we weren't able to get to in previous years, just because of our staff's time constraints. That's about where we could get. This is just expanding, reaching even more businesses than before. So yeah, Business Enhancement Committee is still going to be doing their great work, doing the outreach to the downtown businesses as Amy does.
And is that the whole county then too, like for the 500? I mean, is that okay? Great.
Yep, absolutely.
So Audrey, just a side note, I have worked with COACT and private business, very impressed with them. And this is a while back. And I've been up to their office. They're a very, very good firm. So yeah, that was a good selection.
Thank you, Audrey, very much for the update. I appreciate it. Jimmy, anybody else out there?
I do have a note here from Isabel Lewis. She said her microphone wasn't working, but wanted to say that it's her last day with Seneca Regional Planning Commission. She did say that she will still be working in the county, so stay tuned to find out where. And she said it's a pleasure working with all of you, and she wishes us all the best and looks forward to working with some of us in a new capacity. So I figured I'd let you guys know that and have you say a few words to Isabel.
Yeah, Isabel, right back at you. We appreciate all the hard work you did for regional planning, and we certainly wish you well. God bless you.
Yeah, same here, Isabel. Looking forward to working with you in your new role.
Yeah, it's been great working with you thus far. Sounds like you're not going too far down the road, so it's not goodbye. It's I'll see you here soon.
Yeah, if you need any advice about transitioning, talk to Tyler. Okay, Mr. Ditto, I see you're on the line. Unless you have your little girl with you, we really don't want to talk to you because we'd rather see her.
Yeah, she is far more of a star than I could ever be. That is for sure. I'll remember that for the next meeting. Thank you.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
No, we're actually just sort of getting underway here in Columbus. The Ohio Senate has announced some committee meetings and hearings that are coming up in their session schedule. The Ohio House is expected to do that sometime, likely at the end of next week after their retreat. And then really February 1st, the state budget gets underway. So we will be joining a call tomorrow with the County Commissioners Association of Ohio, who's gathering all of the government affairs representatives for all of the counties out there to discuss the priorities for each of the individual counties for the upcoming 2-year session. So we welcome any input from the county on that before that call tomorrow, and happy to espouse your views to the rest of the folks on the call.
Appreciate that, Mike. I had mentioned earlier, the importance of, I know we're going through a fiscal budget now, but the capital budget, it's nice to look back and see that we have indeed got some money back to our county to be used, for the benefit of us. And when we say things like, the Post-Study Learning Center and WSOS and museums and those kind of things, it's always good to know that we were able to help them along.
Absolutely. Well, we're proud to be a small part of that for this most recent capital budget. And we're hopeful for the next round, which will likely be either later this year or early next, that there'll be some new funds available that will certainly work with you on outlining those priorities and with your new representative and new senator.
So Mike, we have Opportunity Park approved for this year.
Correct.
Right, okay. Then I sent you an email with my comments for tomorrow.
Yes, I saw that. That's very helpful. Thank you.
Good job. And yeah, I'll leave it at that.
That's great.
Thank you.
And we'll send you a summary of what happens on that call tomorrow, because the other counties may chime in with some other priorities as well, but we'll let you know what the collaborative says.
Mike, do you have kind of a guideline yet on the jail's budget? I know that we had submitted something to CCAO for some of remodeling out to the jail that the previous sheriff was interested in doing. We have a new sheriff out there that may have some different views, different projects.
Right.
I know it wasn't actually a submittal. It was just kind of a, here are ideas, here maybe what it would cost, but I didn't know if they've gotten to the point where wanting us to submit something more detailed yet.
Our understanding is that they're not to that point yet. That is actually one of the things that Spencer and I are going to bring up on the call tomorrow, because I think that's an important piece moving forward. We're also going to talk to, I know Spencer has been working with the state entity that is overseeing a lot of that, trying to get some guidance from them. So we will follow up on all of that and give you some feedback by the end of the week. But I think your spot right now is in a decent one, and we'll try and give you some more clarity.
Thank you.
Beth.
Okay, anyone else out there? Jimmy, anything you see?
Not at this time.
Okay, hearing nothing. Let's all take this opportunity with the new administration that we have on a national basis to have a much better conversation with each other about our differences, huh? Let's all act as we are Americans and get behind the new administration and pray for both them and the old administration that good things will happen in the future, and that we can heal our differences and be respectful of each other's opinions. God bless, and we will see you. Don't forget, 2 weeks from today, we will not. We've had our 12 meetings this month, so we're at our limit. Thank you all very much, and stay healthy.
God bless.